Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. North Korea has confirmed custody of Travis King in its first response to requests for information on the US soldier's whereabouts. The 23-year-old private dashed across the border from South Korea on the 18th of July while on a guided tour. The United Nations command said it would not give more details about Pyongyang's response at this time, saying it did not want to interfere with the efforts to bring him home. However, the reply indicates Pyongyang could be ready to start negotiating. The United States has ordered the partial evacuation of its embassy in Niger following last week's coup. Hundreds of foreign nationals have already been evacuated from the country, and on Sunday the French embassy was attacked by protesters.
Par devoir envers le peuple nigérien et conscient de la gravité du moment que vit notre pays.
Coup leader General Chani has warned against any interference in the internal affairs of the country.
We remain committed to the people of Niger and our relationship with the people of Niger, and we remain diplomatically engaged at the highest levels. That's something that will continue. I will also say that the safety and security of our personnel and of U.S. citizens overseas is our highest priority. We constantly monitor events on the ground and make decisions based on what's appropriate to safeguard our personnel. We're monitoring the situation on the ground and making the decisions we need to ensure their security now, but I don't have any further announcements at this time.
The self-declared new leader of Niger says the country is on a transitional path to democratic elections, 1 week after he ousted the democratically elected president Mohamed Bazoum. It comes as protests in support of the coup and against sanctions take place to mark Niger's Independence Day, despite an official ban on demonstrations. Protesters are also demanding the departure of French troops which are stationed in Niger to help it fight an Islamist insurgency. The Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, has imposed sanctions on Niger and said it could authorize the use of force if the coup leader does not restore Bazoum's presidency within a week from last Sunday. Fighting continues to be reported in several areas of Ethiopia's Amhara region between local militias and government troops. Clashes are taking place on the outskirts of Gondar, one of the biggest cities in the region. Residents say transport services have stopped with intense fighting around the city's airport. People in Amhara have confirmed that mobile data services have been cut in some of the major cities and towns within the region, including the capital Bahir Dar. There are also reports of prisons and police stations being broken into in some towns. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan says the military is petrified of an election which is expected to take place later this year. He alleged that fascists are leading the country into the dark ages. Mr. Khan was elected in 2018, ruled for just under 4 years, and was then ousted in a parliamentary no-confidence vote last year. Observers say a big reason was for him falling out of favour with the powerful military. Rescuers have evacuated residents in trucks and boats from flooded cities in China's northern Hebei. Footage carried by the state broadcaster CCTV showed residents jumping onto rescue boats amid historical flooding in Hebei's Jiaozhou city, where many residents are still trapped in their homes by floodwater. The waters could take up to a month to recede in Hebei, where Zhouzhou is the hardest hit city. As of Thursday, more than 1.2 million people in Hebei had to be taken to safety. And followers of Pope Francis have celebrated as the leader of the Catholic Church held an event for students in Lisbon. Catholics from around the world travelled to join the World Youth Day event at Lisbon's Catholic University. The pontiff then met and spoke with children at a school in Cascais. Before putting the finishing touches to a painting on the wall. The Pope is in Portugal to mark World Youth Day, a week-long festival of religious and cultural events staged by the Church every few years in cities around the world. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.